Morning, everybody. It's Friday, the 17th. Just a real quick video for today, some announcements. I'm sorry this is coming out a little bit late. I had a department meeting, and obviously you've heard by this point that the governor has kind of pulled the plug on us, or we're not coming back. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the future is going to hold. All I know is we have a test on May 15th. So that's going to be our focus. So my advice to you, and I know you have a bunch of other AP classes, is your focus is on those. And primarily because you've put in an enormous amount of work already, and you want to get credit for it. So that's our focus. Everything else will take care of itself. And I think you already know my opinions about after the test and that stuff. So everything will, do what I'm asking you to do. Do what your other AP teachers are asking you to do. Do it to the best of your ability, with the idea that you're going to get college credit for this. So everything else will take care of itself. So I know we're not even talking about graduation or prom, and that's that just stinks, but that's the boat that we're in right now. So a couple things that I'm going to share in Schoology. I've created a new folder in Schoology. I think it's called Review Material Semester 2 Distance or something like that. There's a bunch of folders in there, and one of the folders is going to be some general information. There is a link from Mrs. Hernandez that has all sorts of AP testing information, links to that. So if I didn't answer any questions yesterday, if I'm lacking in an explanation, you don't quite understand, go to that. A couple other things that I'm going to put in there. I'm going to switch documents here. I think I might have mentioned this yesterday. This was a little sheet that I got from a friend of mine in North Carolina, Mr. Kniezel, which is just a checklist. So I would ask, as we begin practicing the DBQ, if you're able to print this up and just have it next to your desk or post it somewhere so that you can, it's just a reference. You don't need to fill it out. It's just a guide for you. Okay, am I starting with contextualization? Do I do a thesis? Am I hitting all the documents? Do I describe it? Do I use the documents to support my thesis? Which ones am I capping? And so on. So I just thought it was kind of a good tool, the complex understanding. Did I do my counter argument on the other hand? Am I comparison, contrasting, that kind of stuff? So he shared this with me and said it was okay for me to use with you guys. So that's just something that's going to be in, excuse me, I think the folder's called AP Test Info and Guidelines. So that's something that's coming out today. I also have a one-page version of the new rubric. So I know it's a little bit difficult to see there, but it's the new rubric based on the 5 documents, just on one sheet. The one I originally shared with you was a 2-sheet one. This is just a little bit easier. Again, I know some of you like to have that as you're writing, and you can utilize that as you see fit. The other thing, this is for when we begin some review activities, which will be next week. I pulled these from the AP review YouTube page, which I sort of recommend, but it's a little bit dry, a little bit dull. But one of the things that these 2 teachers that are doing this, they have 5 things to remember for period 1 and key takeaways from period 1. So I really like this because in a very, very simple way, it covered all of period 1 in like 2 slides. I'm not going to spend the time going through this with you, but we do have to prepare for the possibility, as we talked about yesterday, that a question dealing with period 3 can be contextualized out of periods 1 or 2. And I think you have a very good understanding of this. you know, I'll have to think about exactly how you could go back this far. But if you're talking about, if they're talking about issues of the American character, or sort of that discussion we had yesterday about the English traditions and that kind of stuff, this could be used as sort of alternate, on the other hand, stuff. Um, and it's pretty basic, and for the most part, I'm assuming you know it already. But that's going to be um, in as well. So aside from that, that's all I have for today. It's just a couple things to look at. We're going to be meeting again on Monday via Zoom at 10:45. I think I sent that invite out yesterday. I spent the day doing some 5 document DBQs to practice coming up. So we'll start doing that next week, uh, breaking down the 5 document DBQs, as well as giving you some review activity for your cheat sheets and for your open notes. Not to say cheat sheets, but so you can get you can get a start on that. So that's where we're going. If you need something, shoot me an email. I'll be on the computer most of the day. And have a good weekend. And I'll see you Monday.